Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited today because I am partnering with Sigma and collaborating with them to bring you this video to show you some of the amazing Sigma products that are available at Target. If you did not know, Sigma is available in over 400 Target stores nationwide. Not only their brushes, but also some eyeshadow palettes, which I'm going to be using in today's video. And I just wanted to highlight some of the amazing brushes they have, how I use them, how versatile they are, while also showing how I use the palettes. There are a lot of reasons why it is convenient to purchase Sigma at Target. If you have a red card, you get 5% back on all of your purchases, including Sigma. You get free 2-day shipping with any $35 purchase, or if you have your red card. You can do curbside pickup and get your Sigma products same day. And you can also get exclusive deals if you have Target Circle. So really lots of good reasons to pick up Sigma at Target. They sent me lots of goodies, some brushes, some makeup, some brush accessories that I'm going to talk about that I've absolutely been loving. So let's go ahead and jump into this look right here. And I'm going to show you all the different ways I use the Sigma brushes. Okay, let's jump into the look. I have a couple of things that aren't brush related as far as using them in this look, but I have been loving them. So stay tuned for the end because I will definitely talk about those. I'm going to start out with the flat Kabuki F80 brush to apply my foundation. And I feel like this is probably the first Sigma brush that I ever had in my collection. And there's a lot of reasons why I like this. It's just dense enough for a liquid foundation, but I also feel like it is not too dense to work with powder foundations. And y'all know I love a good powder foundation. And this is perfect density for that because there's a little bit of move and give to it, but it's not too much that I can't stipple my foundation in, which y'all know is my favorite way to apply a foundation. And there's lots of reasons why these brushes kind of stand out against the rest. They are vegan, they are cruelty-free, and they also come with a 2-year warranty, which you don't really see much in the beauty industry, much of anything, but especially brushes. They also are all synthetic, being cruelty-free and vegan, meaning they don't have any natural hair bristles. And the synthetic bristles are good because they are not going to absorb too much product. So you know that if you pick up creams especially, it's not going to all sink down in the bottom of the brush to where you can't use it on your face to the best of its ability. And synthetic bristles really help to make sure that doesn't happen. The bristles are antimicrobial and hypoallergenic. The ferrule is waterproof, which is huge because when you wash your brushes, especially as much as you should wash them, a lot of times the water can get collected down into that ferrule, which loosens the glue to the bristles and also loosens the glue to the handle. But the handle is also waterproof. So it's going to make sure that these brushes last forever because you're not going to have any water kind of eroding the glue inside, and they're going to stick together and work for a very, very long time. This next one I'm going to use for a couple of different steps, and I absolutely love it. It's the F47 Multitasker. If you see, it kind of has a slant, okay? So it's great for stippling in foundation. Could have easily used it for that, but it's also great to fit into the contour of the cheek. So it's great for cream products. It's great for cream blush. I've used it for that. Right now, I'm going to use it for concealer. So I'm going to put a little bit of concealer directly under the eyes, and then I'm going to take this and press the concealer in. And because it has that slant, it's going to fit right up in under my eye nicely and kind of hug that lash line while also blending that concealer out. Now, one of the products that isn't a brush or makeup product that I wanted to talk to you about is actually going to come in handy during the application process. And this is called the Sigma Switch. And this is awesome because it gives you a lots of different ways and areas to clean your brush in between colors, not only for eyeshadow colors, but also for cream. So there's a part on here that says liquid. Okay, so that is where I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to really rub it onto that area. and get most of that concealer out so that it doesn't mix with the next step we're gonna do. An eyeshadow part, a blending part, powder part, and a contour bronzer. And it's two-sided. So it has the same, so it does have cream instead of liquid on one side. It's got blush and highlight. So you can make sure that you're not, blending out your blushes, your blush brushes onto the highlight and getting sparkle into it. I like how they kind of mix it up for you. And the little beads and scrubby parts are different sizes depending on what types of brush you're probably typically going to be using with those products. Now I am going to use a cream bronzer, and I'm going to show you how I use this same F47 multitasker for that, because it is just, again, the perfect size to hug that forehead and contour area where you would want to put a cream bronzer. And then I'm going to pull it a little bit up to the cheeks. See how easy that was, just to kind of stipple it in? And then if I wanted to, I can go back in with that initial kabuki brush that had my foundation, kind of blend out those edges. Okay, I'm gonna let all those cream products sink in, and I'm gonna go on to eyeshadow. So Sigma sent me 4 of these 9-pan shadow palettes, which are available at Target. And I think I'm going to use the rosy one today, but I will swatch all the ones that I have for you. So this rosy has 5 matte colors and 4 shimmer colors. They range from peachy pink to pinks to golds to burgundies to like terracotta, that kind of color palette. And then we have Ivy, which is something that has 4 mattes, 4 shimmers, and 1 satin. And this is more of that green, brown, teal, blue kind of color palette. Really, really, really pretty. I imagine this being gorgeous on brown eyes. Then we have Hazy, which has 5 mattes, 1 satin, and 3 shimmer. And this is a beautiful, cool toned palette. If you like cool tone browns, if you like a little bit of a gray and purple color palette, Hazy is going to be the one for you. And then the 4th one I have is Ritzy. Now Ritzy is for anybody who loves golds and browns and those warmer toned shades. And it has 4 mattes. I was about to say 3. It's got 4 mattes, 1 kind of matte with a little bit of shimmer embedded in it. And then it has 3 shimmer shades. Really, really pretty for, like I said, the gold lover. But again, I'm going to be using Rosy today. And I'm going to start out with the E35 tapered blending brush. I'm going to go into Primrose, which is this pretty rosy matte shade. And I'm going to use that to start to carve out a crease. This is definitely not the first time that I have used this palette. I love the color story. And I really like this specific brush because it is not so fluffy that it's going to get all over, like up into my brow or all down onto my lid. It's really going to concentrate that color exactly where I want it. If I wanted to be even more precise, I would use the diffused crease, which on my eyes, this diffused crease right here, it is a little more precise. I'm going to go into Flutter, which is the most gorgeous pinky peach duochrome shifty beautiful shade that I have used many, many times. And I'm going to use the medium sweeper E54. So this one is definitely more flat, and it's really good for packing on color on the lid, which is what I'm doing with this Flutter shade. And you're going to see how gorgeous it is. So I like to just kind of stamp and stipple with this brush. This also works really well for outer corner work. It would also even be great for cream contour or bronzer on the nose held like this, because I feel like it's just dense enough to where it would work for that, which is also why it's so good for packing on color. And then I'm going to take the E25 blending brush. So this one is a little bit more pinched at the ferrule, and then it comes out wider. So it's not as fluffy as the crease brushes that I showed or used, which is why I like to use it for outer corner work. Now, if I was just doing one shade all over the eye, I would definitely use something like this for a wash of color. It's even good to blend out cream shadows, but I'm gonna take this shade Jasper, And I'm gonna mix it with this really pretty rosy shade up here called Poppy. And I'm gonna place those in the outer corner with this brush. And I like how it's the way it's pinched, it kind of gets into my crease right there and hugs that outer corner exactly like I want it to. Now, if I'm going to do liner of any kind, 99% of the time it is going to be some kind of eyeshadow that I use. So I am going to hop on over to this Ivy palette, and I'm going to use this very dark brown down here called Clove. And then I'm going to use the angled brow brush. So this is obviously very versatile, as most of their brushes are, and it is a very dense angled brush. Now they also have the winged liner brush. Now I have had this in my kit for years because there really is not much else like it for wing liner, especially using a liquid or a gel. Do you see how small that is and how precise? It fits right there in that corner of the eye and just pops that wing out so nicely. But for the liner that I'm going to do, the purpose of the shadow liner, I like to use this brow brush. Just take it and stamp it across the lash line. For powder, I'm going to use the F30 large powder brush. You can see how soft and fluffy this is. It's not too fluffy to where I feel like it doesn't pick up pressed powder. Sometimes I feel like powder brushes can be too fluffy, where the pressed powder doesn't really adhere. It's better for loose powder. I find that this works great for both pressed and loose. Picks up good amount of product, and I'm just going to, again, stipple that in, set my foundation. If I feel like I want a little bit more bronzer than the cream that I applied, I like going in with actually the F10, which is the powder blush brush, but I love the size of it for bronzer because I can either lay it on its side to get a more coverage of the product, or I can put it on its tip right here and really get into the contours of the cheek. Yes, this is also an amazing blush brush to also lay on the side, but I'm going to use this to just add a little bit more bronzer because I like a really bronzed look. And if you have the Sigma switch, you could definitely use this for bronzer and blush. Their F03 high cheekbone highlighter brush is another one that I have had in my kit. In fact, I think I have 2 of these in my kit that I have used for a very long time. And this definitely hugs your cheekbones perfectly for highlighter. It would even work with cream highlighter. I've used it for that before. I also like this brush for concealer. So again, another versatile way to use these brushes. And then for blush, I'm going to use the F40 large angle contour. So again, versatile way. This can be used as a blush. It can be used as a contour. Many different ways that you can use this. I like this for blush personally. And again, I like to just stipple the blush right onto the cheeks. Now, if you have watched my videos for any kind of time, especially the tutorials, then you are going to know that I very often, 99% of the time, like to buff my makeup out with some kind of finishing powder. And this contour blush F53 Air is great for that. It is a duo fiber brush that is cut at an angle, and it really does give such an airy, diffused look. Now, this says contour blush, which you could definitely use it for both. I'm going to use it to buff. This is also great for foundation. If you're someone who likes to use a duo fiber brush to give a really diffused look for your foundation, this is a great one to look into. But I'm just going to lightly buff, especially where I have, you know, my bronzer, my blush, and my highlight. Make sure there's no harsh lines. Such a good brush for that. But again, so many different ways you can use it. And then I'm going to go back into my rosy palette, and I'm going to take New Mod, which is on this side right here, on E30 pencil brush. So this definitely looks like the shape of a pencil, hence the name. This is the kind of brush that I recommend for what I'm doing right now, smoking out the lower lash line. It's good for inner corner brightening. It's good for brow bone brightening. In fact, I'm going to use my Sigma switch up in the eyeshadow, up in this top, And I'm going to run that brush through it where all of the pink is now off of this so that I can feel confident in going into Ritzy and Gossamer up here in the corner and use this for an inner corner highlight without having that pink rub off, because I definitely don't want any of that dark matte pink on the inner corner. But as you can see, none of that came off because I used the Sigma switch. All right, I'm gonna finish up with mascara and lips, and I will come back to show you the other stuff that I have absolutely been loving. A few other things that Sigma sent my way that you can get at Target. A couple of them I have already had, and this is one of them. This is the Sigma Spa Express Brush Cleaning Mat. So this one is still in its package. I'll take it out to show you, but I currently have one that's actually black that I use every time I clean my brushes. And I clean brushes all during the week. So every time I have a job, I use a different brush set on every client. I come home, I need to clean them. I clean my own brushes. I need something like this. So this is kind of similar to the Sigma switch where it has different areas and it will tell you, which area is best. So like down here is for the eyeshadow. This is for rinsing the eyeshadow. This is for refining. Over here is face brushes. So I do use this area for like foundation brushes. I use this area for eyeshadow. I like these very small scrubbies down here for my detail brushes. So something like an eyeliner brush or a very small pencil brush per se, I like to wash those in the bottom middle. So this is great. It does come with suction cups on the end, so you can just stick it down in your sink and it will aid you in washing your brushes and get them squeaky clean. Couple other things that are going to aid in getting them squeaky clean. This one I have not had before. I love this so much. This is the Sig Magic Scrub 2-in-1 makeup brush cleanser and tool. So this is a mini kind of version of this with soap included. Yes, please. So it's got the suction cups at the bottom. You stick it down into the sink and then you can twist the top off. And inside you have mini scrubbies. So that's what these are, these little pink silicone scrubbies. And then this is soap, y'all. I have used this so much and I'm very stingy and have only used this with my brushes, not my clients' brushes, because I don't want it to go down too fast, but it makes everything so quick. You don't need any kind of extra soap, anything additional. You stick it in the bottom of the sink, you get your brush wet, you rub it around in the scrubbies. It's got the soap included, rinse it out, wring it out, and put it on a towel to dry. Super, super, super fast and convenient. Been loving this. Now this next product, I also love. This is the Sig Magic Brush Shampoo Liquid. Now I do reserve this for certain brushes, and that would be my cream product brushes, my cream or liquid product. So this comes in a pump and it is a liquid. So what I do when I am washing something like a foundation brush or a cream contour brush or something that I have used creams or liquids in to where I'm really going to need to get in deep to get a fresh clean, I will pump 2 to 3 pumps of this in my hand, use the brush in my hand, and there's something about this that gets every speck of liquid or cream makeup out of the brush on the first try. I don't even need to go back into a scrub mat. I just use my hand when I'm using that, and it works perfect. So I do reserve that for my creams and liquids, and it is magical when it comes to cleaning those types of brushes. Another thing that I did not use in the tutorial is this Sigma travel brush set. So it comes in this nice little tin with a cap, and it includes 3 mini brushes. So it is the large angle contour that I use for blush, the eye shading, which I didn't use, but this is the E55. So it's also great for packing on shadow on the lid. And then the E25 blending, which is the same one that I used on the outer corner. So they are shorter, the handles are shorter, but the actual bristle and brush size is the same as a standard brush. But this way they all fit into this nice little tin for travel. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I will have everything Sigma that I used, all the brushes and the eyeshadow palettes and the brush mats and the brush soap and liquid shampoo, linked down in the description box below, so be sure and check that out. Let me know your favorite Sigma product if you have given them a try. If you have not, I highly recommend them. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos, and I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.